But if we want to find the best all-around athlete, we might need to make the gym class decathlon. Doo-doo-doon. Am I going to make it now? Possibly. Gym class decathlon. I forget what gym class games are. We're just going to make them. And are you just going to make it teams of people? I think you might have to have teams because there aren't really individual ones to have. So it wouldn't be a personal thing. You just have to be the best player on the best team for it to be the best gym class player of all time. 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome to the Pretty Huge Limit podcast. Today, we're going to get into my... It's bad. It takes me a couple times. Just as you saw in the last video, it sometimes takes me a little bit to get the intros done of what I'm going to talk about because I have a list of things. I got to try to figure out which 3 to highlight right at the beginning. Which, hard to tell sometimes, like putting the title on the episode. I don't know which things are going to stick out to me, which ones I think are the funniest. We're going to talk about the male equivalent to a female getting a haircut, where you're not really sure what changed, but they ask you if you notice anything different. We're into racing sports. Am I a fan? Am I not a fan? Spoiler, not a fan. We're going to get into the endless gym class that is ESPN 8, the Ocho. All right. Somewhat of an intro. We'll see which one I go with. And seeing, is this too slanted of a view? Is it not? Is the top of my head cut off? Do I need to lean back, show off my San Antonio shirt? Spurs, they're doing well. So yeah, good time to wear my San Antonio shirt because by the time this comes out, they'll be playing the Thunder in the semifinals and maybe have swept them by now. Is that possible? Probably not. They probably spaced out enough where that's not going to be the case just yet. We'll see. All right. Which one to start with? Wiffle ball. Okay, so I watched, I think it was the All-Star Wiffle ball game on ESPN 8 the Ocho while I was at the gym walking on the treadmill. Walking on the treadmill because I should put the camera down more. This is sideways, whatever. Who cares? Fix it in post. Probably won't. Don't know how. Need to get a better tripod. That's probably it. Or open up the Level app on my iPhone to get that 0 across. Anyway, it was on the treadmill. It was rainy out, so it was during my rest period, and I wanted to get some kind of exercise in, so I went for the treadmill. Nothing crazy, just a 3-degree incline, 3 miles per hour, I think was it. It was okay. The channels there is, I don't know who runs those channels. Sometimes TVs work, sometimes they don't. Half of them are on the same channel, whatever. They had ESPN 2 on, which I guess they make ESPN 8 on Sunday mornings, I think it was, when football isn't on. So yeah, just a bunch of random things. And it happened to be the All-Star game of wiffle ball. And I was reading the subtitles that they had on there, and those subtitles, they're all over the place. So we top, bottom, right over the picture, all of that. So I was able to see what was going on with the softball thing. 2 of the players happen to be brothers. Not too surprising for that. So I think for that, it just goes find a group area of people who say, you know what I'm going to do with all my free time? I'm just going to stay in gym class. I'm going to keep playing dodgeball. I'm going to make up this roof ball game. I'm going to play wiffle ball. I'm going to play capture the flag. I'm going to play tag in my free time. And that's it. Just for a chance to make it to ESPN 8 the Ocho. I think that might be the top of it. If they were playing there, the strategy for it, I think, is just don't strike out and don't pop and don't fly it out. Just hit on the ground and you pretty much get on base. Because if you hit a ground ball to the third baseman, I don't know if you've thrown a wiffle ball, and I haven't felt their exact wiffle balls. I'm sure they're pretty similar to other ones that I've thrown before. You can't throw it very accurately. You can't throw it accurate and fast. You got to pick one or the other, just like an electron. You can either know the position of it or the velocity of it. You can't know the position and the velocity of it. It can't happen. I think that's what it is. If I remember back to how chemistry works and how atoms work, I think that's it. But you can't throw that ball accurately and fast. It's one or the other. for it. So it's hit it on the ground, small field. I think there were like 4 players. The umpires, it was a pretty easy job, especially the home plate umpire, where all you gotta do is say strike if it hits the little boxing they have behind the plate, or you say ball. That's pretty much all they're doing there. And there's no catcher there. You gotta get behind. You're not worried about getting a foul tip off the bat right into your chest that's gonna put you down to the ground. No, you just gotta stand there. And the strikeout zone they have, that's one of the most made up things you could have. Of it doesn't matter where the ball's at when it reaches the batter, it matters where it's at a foot behind the batter. So you throw whatever lob, curve, rise ball thing, it doesn't matter where it's at, just as long as it hits this little, it could go behind the batter and hit the box for it. And also all the players on there, I think they were all right-handed. All of them I saw throw through left-handed. There's no diversity in that area for it. No left-handed big power hitters up there. There's all right-handed batters going up there. They were pitching. It's pretty much strikeout and out, or it's going to be, or the person gets on base. You really don't get out any other way. If you fly out, yeah, but these people just don't fly out. It's a pretty easy thing. I think there were a couple home runs, and I guess there were people in the stands. I think there were people like exercising on the stands while they were doing this. Kind of how tracks and fields like that are open during it. I think there were some people going around with weighted vests up and down the stairs while this was going on for it. They couldn't even get the whole venue to themselves for it. They talked about how they think old baseball players were going to come in and join the league. If they were pitchers, they were going to come in and do that. But I think all the positions have to hit. So even if someone was an MLB pitcher, you got going, you got hit. They aren't DHs. These are old school NL rules. Pitchers hit for it. So they were coming in there and they said that, yeah, they know how to throw the ball, but this is a different game, different rules. It's going to take them a while to adjust. I don't think so. I think they're pretty familiar with where to put their fingers on the ball to make it spin a certain direction, and the rules of it don't seem that complicated. And that made me think of the NFL versus flag football difference. I think there is some difference there because it's a little harder for NFL players to transition over flag football once they're retired because they're older, more beat up. And I think flag football, you have to be closer to your prime than what you have to be for wiffle ball. Football, you can probably be a little bit out of your prime to transition over to that. But they did get ex-MLB players there. That would be more interesting to see. Maybe they need to get the bar lower, just get some Korean and Japanese baseball players in first and drive up the demand that way. Or some people from the Dominican, from Mexico in there and start playing it to get all different areas and then make a World Baseball Classic of wiffle ball. Maybe that's what their strategy needs to be, to get people in there before going after ex-MLB players for it. The transition for flag football to NFL, I think that's similar to what it would be for wiffle ball and MLB, except flag football does seem more difficult because if you put like the hardest thing to do in baseball is MLB, the hardest thing in football is NFL. I think the drop between MLB and wiffle ball is much greater than NFL and flag football. So they're still need to be quick, still need to have explosiveness, things like that. It's just not as physically grueling, things like that. But I think that gap is smaller than the wiffle ball to MLB gap for it. Because wiffle ball, not saying I could go up there and do it, not saying that. It's probably difficult, all sorts of different spins. I don't have good enough eyes to see the rotation on the ball. Can't see anything on there. And also it's just looks like an all white ball, didn't have any red seams on it or even painted on there to see like whether it's a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, or anything like that. So that probably adds a little more difficulty to it. But maybe they could get some MLB players in there, and they might reference the MLB players. It's a different way to hit, similar to how baseball can hit, or it's more difficult to hit softball players. And they'll pull up the classic video of Jenna Finch, I think, striking out Albert Pujols. Like, okay, this guy's seeing MLB players throw 100 miles an hour. He's not familiar. None of them throw submarine, so he's not used to the underhand or even what kind of pitch types there are. There are different kind of pitch types. But I think if Albert Pujols saw enough of the softball throws, I think he would be able to figure it out on that hand for it. Then after that All-Star game, they had dodgeball come up. I mean, these guys are just in gym class for it. And they were in a gym. I don't even know if it was sold out or if they just said anyone who wants to come and watch this, come and watch, because I'd not seen anything too interesting from that. Maybe if they played like other variations of dodgeball games, like Steal the Bacon. I think that was one of it, where you have like the pins that you're trying to. I think Steal the Bacon's a different game. I think that's a sprinting game rather than a dodgeball game. One where there are like pins there that you're trying to knock down, rather than just the dodgeball game. Add the other variations in there as well for it. Maybe like indoor kickball games, 6-base kickball games, other ones like that. Just throw them in there. You have a decathlon of gym games that people played growing up, and these guys do all of them now. You could even have like the indoor sports in there. You could put, if you're going to have an indoor gym decathlon, see, you got to have, well, I mean, you could add the field games of capture the flag and things like that. Right, you have basketball, volleyball, those are like the indoor ones. But even like, you got to figure out how to play those, figure out who the best athlete is. Because the CrossFit games, at the end of those, they're doing lifting, running, stuff like that. And they go fittest athlete. Oh, that's what it is. Fittest athlete on earth. Okay. Oh, whatever. Fittest athlete, that's fine. But if we want to find the best all-around athlete, we might need to make the gym class decathlon. Am I going to make it now? Possibly. Gym class decathlon. I forget what gym class games are. We're just going to make them. And are you just going to make it teams of people? I think you might have to have teams because there aren't really individual ones to have. So it wouldn't be a personal thing. You just have to be the best player on the best team for it to be the best gym class player of all time. So it's just, yeah, all the sports, all of them. Yeah, so you got, what even do you have? Some sort of 6-base and base kickball thing. You have the tag game where you can only be on the lines for it. You got, I don't even know. You got the somehow get a parachute game in there. What is it? It's like sharks and minnows type things where everyone's laying down and people underneath the lifeguards. Sharks and lifeguards, is that the name of it? Where people underneath the what is it? The tarp balloon type thing. Like sharks in it try to pull people underneath it, and their lifeguards trying to save the other people. Put that one in there. What other classic games are there? Something where like the pins are out and dodgeball. Add that one in there, and also dodgeball. I don't know if other places had it. Like, yeah, you have the big rubber ones, and then some places have like smaller, like softer ones. You throw a little bit faster. We had these types of rubber balls did not last very long. They were about baseball-sized rubber balls. These balls would very much hurt because, yeah, the big ones, you throw those so fast. And also, sometimes our teachers would join us when we were playing dodgeballs. Man, these 30-year-old guys are just whipping kids with dodgeballs. That was crazy. It's like if I was to go in there and just play dodgeball against a bunch of kids and I just throw it as hard as I wanted to, dude, yes, that would be fun. A. B, that sounds so dangerous. And if I hit a kid in the face, I would feel so bad about it. I would make some rule for myself, like I can't throw a dodgeball. I can only block it away or catch one. I can't throw one. If I had to throw one, it'd have to be underhand. I don't even know if I would allow myself to do left-handed. Because if I got good enough at that overhand and hurt someone, I feel so bad. These little rubber the same material as dodgeball, it's just baseball sized. And yeah, being in 7th, 8th grade, playing baseball, things like that, used to throwing a baseball as that size, it would just hurt people so bad. And there were some people in gym class, it was almost as if the dodgeballs were like attracted to their face. some sort of a magnet type thing of they're either wearing something in their hair, it might be glasses. There might be something in glasses that attract dodgeballs to people's faces. People without glasses, I don't know if they ever get hit in the face by dodgeballs. It might exclusively be people who wear glasses get hit in the face with dodgeballs. I'm gonna have to think back and see if that was the case. Because people I remember getting hit in the face, they were wearing glasses. These little rubber ones, they would just go so fast and so hard. Because the big ones, when you're a little kid, you can barely palm like one of the big rubber ones. Because yeah, they're so big. But these little ones, you just whip those so hard at people. And after like a week, didn't see those anymore. I don't know where they went. They probably got rid of them. I don't know what they would be used for. They can't be used for kickballs. It's obviously only for throwing and playing dodgeballs, and they would go pretty fast for 7th and 8th graders. All right, I'll add that stipulation. No one's throwing Shohei Ohtani type speed out there. Okay, but for little kids and getting hit in the face with them, yeah, it hurt. What other games are you playing out there? And even for the basketball games, put in the different variations where it's a little bit harder. And for volleyball, I don't know if it was just us and we were that bad. Everyone did that unit. And cut that. That was bad. How the setup for softball is like, oh, bump, set, spike it. Our teacher, because we were bad at it, or just the way he split up the teams, there weren't enough good players on a team to pull this off. We said, if you do the bump, set, spike, you don't even have to get it over. You'll get 5 points for it. Just getting 3 hits in a row on the ball. I don't know if anyone got that going on there, but it was okay. Because it was bad, well, I mean, this just leads to a different gym thing. So at our school, when you were in 8th grade, it was like one of the last days of school, I think. Yeah, you had like the whole school chapel, and then you had like an all-school assembly, and then you had the teachers versus the students versus the 8th graders playing in a volleyball game. And almost every year, the teachers won. I don't remember a time the 8th graders won. Because, yeah, you're going against these adults who coach volleyball, played volleyball, athletic, like somewhat athletic, know at least the strategy behind it. And on the other side, you have a group of 20 to 30 8th graders who they don't know what's going on. They don't know the coaching. There's no like rotation of these are the best people. We're going to put these people in there and just rotate them through. It's everyone has to go. Doesn't matter. You rotate when you get to serve. So if you had just a group of 6 people out there who weren't good, yeah, it would be out there for a while. And there's nothing you could do about it. No one knew what to do. You couldn't call timeouts or anything like that. But I don't know. Teachers had fun doing that and beating the 8th graders in volleyball. It happens. What else are we adding in there? Is this just going to be remembering games? I mean, you have Ghost in the Graveyard. There are different names for that. Just depends what time of day you're playing that at. At the Ghost in the Graveyard, you can play, see what team's good at that, and just see who the ultimate gym class team is. Who can do all the sports, because, yeah, you have to be able to run, you have to be able to shoot, you have to be able to throw, you have to know the strategy for it. You have to have, yeah, a mix of guys and girls. Maybe not 50-50, because that's not how classes typically are of guys and girls when you're going through elementary and middle school. So it might be more guys on the team than girls on the team. That's okay. I don't think you need to make rules where if you're playing basketball where a girl has to shoot it this many times. No, you don't have to do that. That's boring and let the good players score. That's the end of it. Unless you got Caitlin Clark on your team, which she hit a 3 yesterday. Crazy. I just tuned in the game because the basketball game was a blowout. Someone was getting blown out. The Cavs were getting blown out by the Pistons. So for some reason, instead of watching a playoff NBA game, I was watching a regular season WNBA game. But Caitlin Clark was in it, so I think that was okay for it. Okay, so make a gym, ESPN 8, you're welcome for this idea. Make a gym class decathlon where you get all these made up sports together. You just get the teams, because it might be hard enough just getting one group of teams. Well, no, this would reduce the number of teams you need to have. Yeah, that would be it, because you would just take a couple players from a dodgeball team, a couple players from a wiffle ball team, and just mishmash them around and just do all of them. Or have that be your all-star break. All of these made-up things just have their all-star breaks the same week. Then that week you bring all of them together. Because if you're setting up all this equipment, things like that, bring them some indoor complex thing, rent it out, and just do the best gym class team. Do all the different ones. Wow, who would have thought I would have gotten to this at the end of it? That's what I call podcasting right there. All right, now, racing sports. Don't include any of those. Boring. Just boring. I might have said this before about when I went to a race thing. That was more like independent type thing. I was about to say indie type thing, but then people might think the Indy 500. No, it's like an independent thing. I think they were like on dirt or something like that. Pretty boring. Didn't like that. About on record, golf in person, boring. Even on TV, it's only like maybe a couple of hours of it that are interesting, and that's like once a month for it. Other than that, maybe I'll check my phone for it if Scotty's doing well. That's pretty much it. Other things, racing sports, all of them, boring. Doesn't matter. Car, F1, horse, any of it. Clown car, I think it's pretty boring. Seeing, especially, NASCAR going around the loop. Oh, interesting. The strategy going in and out. Only time I watched was as a kid. My dad left it on and fell asleep, and I was be looking where Jeff Gordon was at. Pretty much it. The strategy of it, the pit stops, the tires. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of science and stuff that goes behind it. The cool part of it, seeing how much, like, how you can get aerodynamic, drafting behind people, gas conservation, that kind of strategy. The NASCAR drivers do have that fast twitch. F1 drivers, yeah, that fast twitch muscle they have. They can react to things quickly. If you're sitting in the stands, I think it's pretty boring to do. The infield part of it, those people are having a party. I wouldn't want to be a part of that either. They're at least look like they have a good time. People in stands, they're wearing headphones, listening to the radios of what people are saying, the strategies. But I don't think it's that interesting. It's the courses, they pretty much look the same. The F1 people, I never got into that. What was it? Was it Drive to Survive? I think it was something else. That was the name of it. Or is it? Whatever it was. But I never got into that. All the different people in it going across the world. Yeah, they drive fast. That one's a little more difficult because the different turns, the banking of it, and they're going faster, and it's through some cities. So, okay, that's somewhat cooler, but I still find that kind of boring seeing them go through. In horse racing, there's so much build up to these races. Also, it might be like you don't see too many of them, but it takes them to get into the race stalls. I don't know any of the horses. There's kind of these weird half names that are trying to have that. Yeah, these half names that could be like full sentences or full phrases, but they can only put so many names on there. I don't find it interesting. Then when they go, it's like, oh, you had a minute and a half race. Oh, the jockeys going in and out, racing, coming from the back of the pack. Kind of boring. I don't really need to plan my day around it. If I'm watching TV, there's a break in the action of what I'm watching. All right, I'll turn it on, but not much else besides that. Want to talk about live sports watching? Man, I got to figure out how to start watching some baseball games or a different sport that's going on. Because as the NBA, NHL starts winding down, less games spaced out, NFL not in full steam yet, and by that I mean it's not week one of the NFL. College football is winding down. There's college football stadiums being used for concerts, not for football games. Amazon, they also have a different variety of weird sports that are on there. So they're a little bit more professional than ESPN 8. I think the people on these Amazon Live ones are at least getting paid. Because it has the UFL indoor arena. It had pickleball on there. It had college baseball teams. They're probably getting paid more than people on ESPN 8. They have some of those weird different sports on there. So I might have to get more into those or just keep watching TV shows from the 2010s that I haven't seen and no clue what they're about and can't name the characters in them, but I recognize them. So I'm watching one now. I forget what it is, but some 16-year-old is trying to join the school board because he got convinced by some chick to run for it because she wants the class rankings gone because she's ranked number 2, but she doesn't know that he's ranked number 1. He's running for the school board. I forget the name of it, but the main character guy, I recognize him. Don't know what his name is, but that's okay. I'll deal with that later. Okay, books. If I talk about books, that's how you know I'm late on podcasting, but we'll save those for later. And the last one that I'll wrap up with, I don't know how long I've been recording for because I started the recording, but I didn't note when I started the podcast. But that's okay. We got the best gym player on earth. We'll do that. And I don't know if other countries have different gym games. Probably do. But I'll cook something up and tweet that out and see what kind of reactions I get. We'll see. Maybe I'll put a poll out there. All right. What I was going to say is, I did get this in the intro. So when a girl gets her hair cut, come back and say, do you notice anything different? Well, your hair's still in a ponytail. And they'll say, it's so much shorter, it's so much different, it's so much thinned out, blah, 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 whatever. Well, male equivalent is when a woman comes home from a trip from work, when a guy's been home alone on the weekend with no other plans, where he doesn't have shopping to go do, he doesn't have a specific project that his wife told him to do. He's just home alone and he does something around the house. And the wife comes home and he goes up to the wife and says, hey, do you notice anything different? I think that's the male equivalent. Woman haircut, male home alone on the weekend with no plans. That's what happened here. Ashley's gone at work providing. I'm here at home by myself. It's like, well, I don't really want to spend money to get a project done, not having any contractors come here. Let's do it myself. What's just been there? And I took down some lights that have been hanging around, and Ashley's going to come home at some point. I'll go, hey, do you notice anything different? She's going to be sniffing around, seeing, that light's still hanging there. Those doors still closed. This shower's still not cleaned. I don't know if she's going to notice it. Maybe not. And maybe I'll say, well, I guess you don't care then. That would be pretty funny to me. Because, come home from a haircut. Oh, I didn't know this. Well, I guess you don't notice things about me. Well, I guess you don't notice things around the house that I get done without you asking me to do them. That you may or may not have wanted me to do. But guess what? I did it anyway. So, here we are. Now, we got to deal with it. That might be the same things. If I'm left home alone, it might be, I had this thing in my closet that I said I was going to get out and assemble that you kind of forgot and don't really care if it gets assembled or not. Or I'm going to take this thing down in the house. Because it's not like Christmas decorations where you'll notice just some lights that were out for too long and just need to get put away. We'll see if that gets noticed or not. I think I'm going to end the podcast there and save these other topics for another time. Because I think that's enough for this podcast. But thanks for tuning in. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, reach out, watch Pretty Huge Reviews, watch PhD TV. I think Backyard Baseball just came out in a new game next week that hopefully, I stick around playing longer and it's more build up, more of a story for it. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys later. Bye.